Hi everyone, welcome back to Creative Tap. This is going to be the first in a series of tutorials on using lights inside of After Effects. So this first one I'm just going to be showing you how to create a basic vignette effect using lights shining them at a 2D piece of footage. Okay, so I've downloaded a piece of footage from Pexels. The link will be in the description below, and it's basically, let me get this footage now, drag it to a new composition. It's basically this piece of footage of a woman kind of in slow motion. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you how to basically take it from this and using a light get a vignetted effect. Okay, so making a vignette with a light, and it kind of introduces you into the most basic of lights, which is the spotlight. Okay, so first things first, we've got our footage in here. It's very flat, so we're going to change that. If we go to Layer, New, and Layer, New, and Light, Control Alt Shift and L, or Command Option Shift and L. I'm not sure what it is on the Mac, but yeah, you'll be able to see it there. So let's click that, and we've got a dialog box. So we're going to call it Spotlight 1, and we're going to make sure the light type is Spot, because that's kind of the easiest one to start getting your head around in terms of the controls of it all. So we're going to go with these settings: intensity 100, cone angle 90 degrees, cone feather 50%. We're going to keep the fall off to none, and yeah, so let's click OK. So you can see that we've got some sort of new configuration here, but nothing's happened to our footage. Now you may have come up with a little kind of notice where it says something like, warning, lights will only affect 3D layers, and that's fine, because that's very true. So all we need to do is, with our footage layer, we just need to turn it 3D by clicking this little icon by here. And as soon as we do that, we can see that our light is now just, well, a spotlight, yeah, only affecting the footage, and the rest of it is black. So we've kind of got a vignette going on, but it's not great. So if we click our spotlight, you can see that we can move either this little anchor point by here, or these arrows across, so y-axis, x-axis, and this little blue arrow is the z-axis, moving it further towards and further away from. So if you were to hit P on the spotlight, you can also control them here. Okay, so that's basically how you move the actual light, and then this is basically the direction that the light is pointing in, also known as the point of interest. Now you can turn this sort of point of interest off. Now people do find it a little bit complicating, so it's basically, if you were holding a torch, this bit would be your hand kind of moving up and down, and this would be the angle at which you're pointing a torch down to the ground, up to the ceiling, stuff like that. Okay, and that's a basic way of kind of explaining it. And if you were to click this drop down, you've got point of interest. So when I move this one, you can see down here it's those figures that are moving, and you can keyframe them. And then when I move these arrows, if it's the y-axis, yeah, you can see that this also moves with it, which it can get tricky to get your head around, but don't worry, I'd prefer that people use this instead of turning. You can turn this point of interest off, but it's kind of, you may as well start learning how to use it. Okay, so that's explaining the basic movements. What I want to do now is come into this drop down. So if you just click the drop down here and come into light options, and we're going to kind of look at these. So we've got intensity. Kind of does what it says in the tin. 0, it actually goes into the minuses. 0 is, you know, nothing, you're not going to see anything. And then you've got all the way up to 100, but you can also go past 100, where it kind of starts bringing in these hotspots, and we can control these hotspots with some other settings later on. Okay, so I'm going to keep this intensity to 100 for now. Cone angle is basically how wide it is, and you can see as I bring it in, it goes wider. Now you can also kind of affect sort of how wide it is by pushing the light in and out. Okay, so they basically, at this point, they do near enough the same thing, this cone angle. Okay, so if we want the vignette we want, it's probably going to be kind of like that. Okay, so something along those lines. We've also got cone feather. If we kind of bring this all the way to 100, it's very feathered. And let's sort of bring the cone angle back down a second. Our cone feather, if we bring this to 0, you can see it's very harsh spotlight then, and that's not very nice to look at. So we'll bring our cone feather up and our angle outwards again. So, you know, feather quite a bit, maybe 60% I'll go for, and yeah, bring the angle out like so. And then you've got some more fall off settings, of which I'm not going to go through in this sort of tutorial. In future ones I will, in other ones in this series I will. Now we also want to look at, again, I've told you intensity can go above and it starts bringing in these hotspots. Now we can actually control these hotspots. So if we come down to the actual footage, we can go into the drop down and we can go into material options, and it's treating this footage, now that a light's shining at it, it treats it as a material, okay? So we've got ambient, diffuse, specular, specular shininess, and metal, okay? Now, if I were to bring my specular down to, let's say, 0, you can see those hotspots have gone. So specular is basically your bright areas, and by bringing the specular up, it really kind of gives it a very, very vivid, overexposed look, okay? So yeah, if I were to take the specular down to 0 and increase the diffuse, and I also want to bring my intensity down a little bit, but this basically gives you a very, very, very flat lighting, okay? Now, if I were to, again, increase my specular, it brings in these kind of hot spots, okay? So we can bring in these hot spots by increasing our specular intensity. Now, if we were to go to the shininess, this basically, well, if we turn it up, you can see, if we turn it all the way down, there's a lot of kind of hot areas, okay? So let's increase specular intensity. As we bring it up, it restricts the amount of hotspots. So all the way up to 100, you're getting some hotspots around here, and by bringing it down, the shininess down, you've got a lot more hotspots. So it's just kind of a stylistic way of kind of approaching this, and I don't really want to have that many hotspots, to be honest. I think something like that for me is going to be fine. You know, you've got a little bit of a hotspot there, and it's quite nice. And then by going to metal, if we decrease this all the way down, when we have it to 100, it's bringing out, it's basically taking the colours in the pixels and overexposing those colours. Bringing it all the way down, this will actually show through the colour of the light. So if you were to change the colour of the light to, let's say, go to the light settings and go to red, you'll end up, yeah, it kind of gives you that red colour, and we don't want that, so I'm going to undo that. It's very, very rare that I play around with the metal. I always go for the actual 100% because it actually gives us this sort of beauty kind of look. Anyway, in terms of the hotspots, I'm going to kind of bring them down just a little bit more. And that's as far as I'm going to push it for this tutorial, because it's just a little intro into playing around with these, and feel free to have a further play around. But what we've got, if we were to bring in this footage again, place it on top, we've gone from a very, very flat look to a sort of vignetted look where we're really drawing attention to the face. Now, in the next tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm going to further build on this, whereby we motion track this light to her face to really bring her face out, and we bring a little bit of the background in. So we basically relight the footage, and so it's something like this, where we motion track this sort of relight to the actual footage. So feel free to tune into the next video where we'll have a look at that. But yeah, cheers for tuning in. Give us a subscribe and a like, and hopefully I'll catch you guys in another tutorial.